Hey everybody, and welcome to week 3 of the design month here in the Gear 1 RPG project. This week what we're going to be doing is setting up a key door. So this is going to be a door that locks until you pick up a key somewhere in the environment, which then of course will unlock the door. We need to set up a prefab for us to use throughout our levels. So we're going to be doing that in our base scene here. We can use any prefab we have in our project as our door. We don't necessarily have to use a door object, though I would recommend using a door object. There's one located in the prefabs props folder. You scroll down, there's a door here. I know if you pick temple, there is a door in the structures folder here. There may be one in alien as well, I'm not entirely sure. You can also use any objects that you find out in your scene too, but we do want to just make sure that whatever we use, it's going to make sense for our player if they pick up a key to think, hey, maybe the key goes with whatever that object is. So again, I'm going to be using the temple door, and I'm just going to rotate that so it's facing me. Obviously, this door is going to be moving up and down, very similar to our dungeon gate, so that might not make the most sense in the real world for these to move the way they do, but that's okay. Fortunately, we're not in the real world, we're in a game. So once you have your door selected, you're going to go ahead and right click on that and hit create empty. And we're going to name this new object locked door. And then we're going to move this object out so it's no longer a child of the temple door. Then what we're going to do is drag the temple door, or again, whatever object you're using, and place that on the locked door object to make it a child. So now we have our whatever object we're using as a door is a child of this locked door object. We're then going to select our actual door object and hit add component. We're going to search for door controller, just like that. And right away, we're going to check this locked box, and that's going to tell our door controller, hey, this thing is locked. Don't do anything until we get a key attached to us. Next up, what we want to do is attach the sounds for our moving door. So if we go to our resources folder, there's a folder called sounds and then a folder called door. We're going to drag the metal door sliding, which if you click, you see sliding door 1. We're going to drag that into the moving sound slot, and then our other sound to latch sound. Next, what we're going to do is right click on our door again, or you could also right click. Actually, it's probably easier to just right click on the locked door object and hit create empty. And we're going to call this point A, and then duplicate this object with controller command D and rename it to point B. And then I'm going to take point B and just slide it up. That's going to represent how high our door is going to move. So just make sure you move it high enough for our player to fit underneath the door. And then we're going to select our temple door, or whichever door our door controller script is on, and put closed pause as point A and point B to open pause. Finally, what we need to do is attach a box collider to this door. That's going to be a trigger that detects when our player enters the door. So we're going to hit add component and type box collider. So this is going to be the tricky part. The numbers that you're going to use here is going to depend on what object you're using. So I don't recommend paying attention to the numbers that I'm using so much as how I'm getting to those numbers. So if we take a look at our door, get kind of close to the side of it, we want to be looking at it from the side, we can see that there is this green box that represents this new box collider component. And if I turn that off, you can see it grays itself out, right? So this box is going to be where our player can be standing, and we want them to be able to be standing inside this box both when the door is open and when the door is closed. So we need this box to be able to reach the ground when the door moves up, because the box will move with it, as you can see, and also, the player be able to actually access it while the door is closed. So what I'm going to start by doing is grabbing this Y value for the center line, and I'm going to click the Y and drag to the left until I reach about the midway point of the door. So you can see the top layer of that box is at about the midway point. And then we can see this blue arrow here is pointing away from our door, right? That means that we need to move in the Z direction. The blue arrow represents the Z axis. We move in the Z direction to get in front of the door. So if we click center and Z and we drag to the right, our collider will slide out a little bit. I want to make mine a little bit thicker in the Z axis, so I'm going to move it out a little bit further, and then in size, I'm going to do the same thing and drag to the right, and that's going to extend it outward. Finally, the last thing we need to do here is just click the is trigger button. There we go. Once we've got all of that done, I know that was a lot, but all we need to do now is just make a prefab out of this locked door object. So what we can do is go into our resources folder, go to prefabs, and then go to environment, and then we can drag locked door down into the environment prefab folder. Once you've got that done, go ahead and save your scene.